to me, that isn't checking. Hitting's part of the game. Yeah, we need to have that. Checking is blocking a shot, your structure in the neutral zone, supporting the corners in your defensive zone coverage. To me, checking is a mindset, and we have, in the last 15 goals, we've given up, I think, an average of 3.56 goals a game. I think that was the number that was given to me today by Shawzy. You're not winning many hockey games that way. That's why we sit here at a couple of games under 500 in our last 15. So it is a very tough time of the year. The game is played, I think, a little bit differently this time of year, and it's going to get even harder. If we don't join in and understand how to play away from the puck, it's going to be tough to gather some points here. So that's the biggest point of emphasis right now.
And it's not just intensity; it's a disciplined intensity.
It's a structure, yeah. This team here is going to be very fast through the neutral zone. If our neutral zone structure isn't there tonight, as far as positioning and taking away the middle of the ice, we're in trouble because too much pressure is on our D with their speed. So they've got to have to go through layers, and So I thought they practiced really well, as I said yesterday. We had a really good meeting this morning. Just had another one as far as where we have to, I think, reinvent ourselves a little bit and get that chip on our shoulder again. Because the league's running away from us here a little bit as far as how hard you play at this time of year. We haven't joined in, and we need to here very quickly.
Is that the single biggest issue, or has Bob come off it a little bit? Is that part of what's going on here?
Oh, he's part of it too. Yeah, there's no one that is going to hide from this. I don't think our goaltending has been as good as it was at the beginning of the year. So right from the goaltending, right on out, and through coaching too. I think the coaches need to be better. I told our guys a week or so ago, I think I brought this team down this road by laying off them a little bit too much during the time we were winning some games. It's hard to get them back. And I thought we got them back through a couple of games, especially the Pitt game. We were lost against Jersey. And no disrespect to Jersey, they played a really good game, but we weren't there. So this falls on everybody. And you win as a team and you lose as a team.
You mentioned the time of year a couple of times. How much does that go into it, getting through these dog days and getting through that part of it?
Yeah, you have the dog days, and you have, I think the game changes. I think teams that think they have a sniff, that to have an opportunity to maybe compete in the playoffs, start coaching their team. You guys don't want to hear about it. You want the high offense, but you have to play defense in playoffs. And I think coaches really clamp down when you get to this section of the year of how hard it has to be to play against your specific team. And we're certainly going through that. And because when you get to those, the fun days and the regular season's over, no matter how many goals you can score, no matter what the offense is like, you don't play defense in the playoffs, you have no chance.
John, you've said in the past one of the challenges with Zach Werenski is the game can come easy for him. How often does he find the gear that you want, and what does that look like when he's doing it?
He hasn't found it often enough. When he does, it's something special. It's not a criticism.
Right.
He's 19 and just learning what level you have to play at. Basically what I'm saying about our team, I have some veteran guys here that still haven't got to the level that they need to play at this time of year. Zach is a guy that has got banged around a little bit, has gone through a few bumps and bruises of the National Hockey League, has to understand that you have to play through that and continue to try to get your level higher. Has he found the answers? No, not consistent enough, and that's part of our job and his job together to try to get him there.
Have teams approached him differently as there's a book on him, or at least people know what he brings to the table?
Oh, I'm sure they're very aware of him. I mean, he's that type of player. I'm sure he's on the board on every team as far as his skill. And we took him off. We took him off the first power play for a while just to let him worry about just his game away from the puck and defensively. We're going to put him back on the first power play to maybe change that from. I think he's lost his game a little bit, which is to be expected in such a young guy playing the toughest position. He's not far off of it, though. So we're going to put him back on the first one. He's the guy that needs to touch the puck for him to be. He's told us that. He says, Sometimes I don't get enough touches and I'm not in the game. Really interesting to me to listen to a player talk that way. It's how cerebral he is. That's what's cool about him. That's what's really neat about him. So we have a process, and this isn't we're not gonna solve all the problems tonight or in the next few weeks, but we have to get him on the right road.
Usually when defensemen are struggling, they don't hold the puck long enough. He wants it more.
He needs to touch it more. It's one of the greatest things about coaching because we think we have all the answers, the coaches. We don't have a clue what they see on the ice. We don't understand them totally and never will. That's why it's so neat to have conversation, and we try to get him to come in our office. And like Murr came into my office yesterday, first time that he wanted to come into my office, and I've been on his ass for weeks here now as far as his play. It was just so nice for him to come into the office so I can hear what he's thinking. Because sometimes coaches just don't know. We don't see the game the same way, and you learn. And Z's the same way.
Did you think something was really wrong with Murray when he walked in?
Well, I know it was wrong with Murray because I've been up his ass for the past couple of weeks, and we're trying to solve the problem. So, because I just think he can be so much better. I watched it last year, and we need to get him to that level. So, it was a really good conversation.
Had you heard that from a player before? What Werenski said? Did you need an explanation or further explanation of what he meant by that?
Not the way he put it. Yeah, and that's what listen. He's going to be a very, very good player in this league, and we expect so much, so quickly, so many times. Each it's still a process for him to really understand what's expected of him. And that's part of our job.
Was something said to Boone Jenner 2 games ago, or has this ultra physical approach that he's shown the last couple of games come naturally?
Well, I know Boone and I have had a couple of conversations in where I don't want him worrying about what the stat sheet says as far as goals and assists. Boone just needs to worry about being the way Boone plays, and that is his nose over the puck, finishing his checks, getting to the blue, and he has created a lot of different things for that line. He's really kind of ignited that line a little bit here. He's a smart enough guy to know that. I think as I said the other night, he gets himself so wrapped up into where he scored 30 last year. It's not going to happen this year. He's just trying to help the team in this situation where we're kind of middling around here. Right. So I think he's just decided himself that I've got to simplify everything and just go straight ahead. And that's what he's done.
This dip you're going through right now aside, the young guys like Jones, like Werenski, Anderson, Carlson, these guys you've had throughout the year, how have they impacted what you guys have been able to do so far this season overall when you look back at your season?
Well, we're a young team, and I've said that a lot. I don't want to use that as an excuse, but there is some experiences that these guys need to go through. When we had our meeting today, I think there are 3 guys on our roster that have probably been chased at this time of year in the standings. Meaning we're above some people and people are chasing us. Really, 90% of our roster are the chasers usually and it's a lot easier to play when you're chasing, not when you're being chased. So this is all new to them. So we have to understand that. But I have seen tremendous progression with the team, but this is what we talked about all year long as far as everybody's saying, man, look at that. Let's just wait here because there's so many things that have to happen with the club. And we're in it, and this is the toughest time of the year to play right now. I think we need, as I just said to him, we need to reinvent ourselves here and get the chip back on our shoulder that we had at the beginning of the year. And let's see where we go from there.
From your standpoint, how valuable is that experience going forward for your team, for these kids to have that experience to be chased right now?
Yeah, well, they're the ones that put them in this spot, put themselves in this spot. It's their fault. They won a bunch of games, and they put themselves in the spot. Now embrace it. Don't run from it. Don't be nervous about it. Embrace it. Do you want to be back to where you were a number of years in your career where all you did was chase and people already counted you out with a month left in the season? Embrace this part of it. This is how you grow as a team. This is how you grow as a player. So I'm really looking forward to see how we go through this part of the season.